Hello everyone and welcome back to Skill Park here at Robina on the Gold Coast. The opening night of the finals of 2010, and they're expecting a crowd near capacity, which is at 27,250 people. Simon Mannering now taking the Warriors out. They have to overcome somewhat of a hoodoo against the Titans. From 7 games played, they've won only twice, and further here at Skill Park are still without a win. On the credit side, they're a much better team, as the boys pointed out these days when they travel. They've won 5 of their last 7. He's rightly referred to as a game breaker, Manu Vatuvei. 19 tries, 18 games this year, and now equal leading try scorer at 77 tries with Stacey Jones. And that's Lewis Brown, the young man from Christchurch, and we just pause and think of the people of Christchurch and let you know that we're thinking of you, dealing with that natural disaster last weekend, and we're coming down there next May for the Trans-Tasman Test, the home of this man, Lewis Brown, who will do a good job, I'm sure. And now it's time for the home crowd to welcome their heroes. Top 4 for the second time. It's a big night, and they're hoping, of course, that the second consecutive top 4 finish won't have the speedy exit it did last year. And there he is, the man that probably will govern their destiny. Scotty Prince, we know he's good, we know he's outstanding, but the state of that injury, the injury to the shoulder, that is unknown and won't be tested until match conditions prevail. Matty Rogers, 5 players over 30, an average age of 28. The oldest of them is Matt. The evergreen first played against the Warriors when he was just 19. In fact, it was that year when he debuted for Cronulla. So it's going to be Warriors running right to left, and the finals are underway. Off the boot of James Maloney, and taken down there by Atkins, who's immediately met by 3 of the Warriors' defencemen, headed by Manu. So the beast is here at Skill Park, and this is Bailey, an addition to the side compared to the one we saw last Friday night against the Tigers. And there's a run from Ashley Harrison, who took out man of the match honours in that game against the Tigers. As Friend goes away and turns the ball off to LaFranchi in the opening set of 6 for the Titans. And that seems to be very much uppermost in their mind. Steady as she goes. Let's get the first set right. Put a big kick on the back of it. And they kick on 4. And it's charged down in 6 more. Played by Michaels, this smoke from the fireworks. From the fireworks preview. Very slow in lifting, so there's not much wind out there. And Bailey goes away to Rogers now. And he'll play the ball down the New Zealand end of the ground. Only to the tune of about 10 metres before Minichiello takes it 33 metres out from the Warriors line. So we go through the opening couple of minutes of the game, and again it's Steve Michaels who will play the ball just outside the 20-metre line. Twice they've played this year, twice they have won, the Titans. In fact, they've won their last 5 in a row against the Warriors. That is battered down for Scott Prince, and they're right on top of him, but he's able to flick pass away out the back, and it's gone down the middle of the ground with the number 4, Clinton Torpey, who gets the ball away, and it's the Titans on the attack just outside the 20. And it's turnover time.
Yeah, uncontested the bomb by the Warriors. Scott Prince got it back, did well to flick it behind his back, but Clinton Torpey had an opportunity to kick, went back centre field and flung one out the far side as Lance Ohio gets the first touch for the Warriors in this game.
Ohio, of course, one of only 2 players that have been to the grand final. Of course, Brent Tate was there in 06 with Brisbane with success. And Ohio has been to a grand final in 02. The diminutive fullback, now Vatuvei, charges ahead. And he's met and pulled down by Greg Bird. And also LaFranchi, off now for Packer. And he's up towards the centre of the ground. Russell Packer playing the ball for the Warriors. Back to Jeremiah, who looked as though he was going to pass, then decided to come back towards the short side, and he's tackled. He did gain about 7 or 8 metres in ground as Maloney puts a kick high down into the corner. And Kevin Gordon's underneath it. Oh, he got away from his opposite number. Lock, he beat him all, ends up. He's gone down that left flank and he's been tackled beautifully in cover defence. It was Maloney, the number 6, who made the tackle.
And a try saver. You don't rush on Kevin Gordon, because if he beats you and gets you in the clear, it's normally shut the gate. What a tackle here from James Maloney, one of the real success stories so far this season.
Well, the semi-finals are only 3.5 minutes old and we've had a magic moment. That's quite incredible, isn't it? When Maloney headed off in pursuit, I thought, no way. I thought Gordon would get around him. But fresh legs and determined spirit, he found the necessary to get there. Great moment.
First man to James Maloney was Kevin Lock. The winger beaten by Kevin Gordon. Here's Vardave again with another carry. And the ball has been stolen. It's a penalty to the Warriors.
And the first penalty of the night. And it's an underrated part of Manu Vadave's game. We know he scores plenty of tries. He's a strong finisher. But he starts the sets well for his team. If tackle 1 and 2 are good and going forward, normally 3 and 4 will feed off that. And that means you get a good finish on 5 and 6. And Vadave does it very well for his football team.
Jeremiah taking the free kick, and Maloney puts a short ball onto the chest of Rapira. So Sam Rapira playing the ball there just 20 metres out, and they're experimenting down the right side. Mannering, the captain, lifted in the tackle. 3 of them there, Friend and Bailey, together with Harrison. Here's Jeremiah again. The cross goes short, and Michael Luck was put down awkwardly by Minicello, as it goes now with Jeremiah to about 2 metres out from the line. Play the ball back again for Mannering, now for Maloney. Maloney drifting, picking up Seymour, puts a little kick in. Atkins didn't get it the first time, and now he's tackled in goal.
Brett Seymour had a good look to his left here. I don't think he at any time thought that this would produce a try for the Warriors, but he'd run out of room and he just poked it into the line there to get exactly the result he got. He gets the ball, he gets a little look, he sees his wingers back deep, but he thought, I'll just feather that into the end goal and we'll get the ball back. He had the look, he knew it wasn't going to produce a try, but he figured the next best result would be get another set of 6, and he got it.
They did it so well against Parramatta last week. They were patient, got 4 or 5 in a row as Rapira keeps the pressure on. Strong charge, 32 out, almost centre field.
So away from Hire, a dummy half to Packer on the charge. Good run by Rapira, backed up by Packer. Jeremiah turns it back inside for Michael Luck. First game back since that awful wound that he suffered in the game against Manly, it was, in round 24. Here's Jeremiah again, going away for Maloney to go to his captain, Mannering. And Simon will play the ball. They're 8 metres away. The Titans under extreme pressure. Maloney gives the ball to Tate. Tate comes back to the middle, and he gets the ball out the back. Here's another chance here for Jeremiah. He's in to score. Warriors have got the first points. Scored by Aaron Jeremiah.
Yeah, good stuff. And wonderful work from Brent Tate, the experienced centre. Flicked the pass out the back, kept the ball alive. You could see it caught the defence by surprise. They don't throw a lot of passes these days in their own half. But when they get an attacking opportunity, they have great ability at keeping the football alive. And Brent Tate exploring, attracts 3 defenders, and all of a sudden flicks one out the back. They didn't see it coming.
And a warm welcome to our networks taking the finals coverage. Tonight coming to you from the Gold Coast here in Queensland. And we certainly trust that you're going to enjoy the next 4 weekends with us on Channel 9 here in Australia. And there's the try scorer, Aaron Jeremiah. Comes from Auckland, 27 years of age. Just the one test for New Zealand, which he played this year. So they take the first try, the Warriors. First blood. 18 metres out then for James Maloney to attempt conversion. He was prominent in the lead-up with Brent Tate. There's the kick. It's good. So the Warriors lead 6-0. Early days in the first of our big qualifying finals. Wally Lewis is sidelined tonight with Brad Fiddler.
Well, there was 3 very important steps that created this try. The first one was a very clever kick that regained the start. The Keno replay will just show it as the next 2 steps came from Jeremiah, a left and a right. Really caught the Titans' defence off guard. We really see now just what the confidence has done to them with the restart. Very important they control the football.
Yeah, tremendous year also for Jeremiah. Sam Rapira brings it back strongly. Just one of 2 players in the Warriors lineup to have played every game. The other, Ben Matalino, who comes off the bench tonight.
So Mannering it is. He'll play the ball 25 metres away from his own line. Brent Tate going in for a scamper away from dummy half. Peter talking about Manu Vatuvei and the work that he does out of dummy half, laying a foundation. It's a bit like the diet from Brisbane back in the days of Saylor and Takiri. And before that, Willie Kahn and Michael Hancock. But I was only just thinking today how the face of this finals composition, as the Warriors find touchdown there, some of the usual suspects are missing, aren't they? Brisbane, Melbourne, Parramatta, Canterbury.
Well, only 3 sides from last year, eh? Of course, the demotion of Melbourne played its role. As the touch finder cut it very fine.
Warriors coach Ivan Cleary, I sent him a couple of messages this morning wishing him all the best, and I was taken over by his confidence in his troops and the pleasure that he had with their preparation. He was quite open. He said, we'll go really well tonight. He took me aback a little bit. I thought probably the home side would have the advantage, but the opening stages show the Warriors are here to play.
Ivan Cleary taking up the coaching role back in 06, so 5 years for him. There's been several have tried, but still they have come up without the premiership. They went close in 02. His friend. And just inside the 40-metre line, it's played back for Harrison to go short and away to 15 who's out there now. That's in fact, it's William Zillman in the 5 jumper playing at fullback, with Preston unable to take this appointment. 7 metres then into Warriors territory, and the visitors leading 6-0 as Rogers puts up a booming kick, and Vatuvei goes across and almost pushes Lance Hire out of the road to take that bomb.
What did you think when it was coming down? Do you think he'd catch it, Rabbits?
I think looking at the confidence that's reeking out of the Warriors at the moment, that they'd catch anything. They're going to be pretty hard to topple tonight. That's the early body language that I'm getting out of this game.
They don't give you much. They do not give you much at all. They will grind away.
They're so big and so fast. I mean, it's physical whether you're tackling them or running with the football into them. It's torrid. And here is Mannering picked up. He's made a lot of carries. He's leading by example as young Seymour puts a kick down into the mouth of the in goal. Zillman it was who gave it away to Atkins. And Atkins will play the ball 12 metres out from his line.
Well, that's a big improvement there. The direction that the halves are giving them this year, Brett Seymour and especially James Maloney, who's played more games. They've craved that since the retirement of Stacey Jones. And the players around them now are just playing simple football as Torpy goes centre field. Former Warrior, played in the 2002 Grand Final in the centre for the Warriors.
I see where he's supposedly bodyguard for Scott Prince tonight. Scott in an interview said that he was Whitney Houston and Clinton Torpy was playing the role of Kevin Costner tonight. 40-20 attempt here. And it's in field that Hohaya is able to bring it back towards the 10-metre line. And Lance Hohaya, one of the smaller players in the side. In fact, we talk about how big and fast they are, but gee, they have got some diminutive players as well. Hohaya, not much of him. Locke, not much of him. Maloney, Jeremiah. Here's Vatuvei. He's been strong. One of the senior players, as I said about his captain. They have both had plenty of carries. Now Rapira. Only 2 speeds with Sam Rapira. And now for Jeremiah to just pluck one down into the corner. And Zillman it is on the way back. coming out towards his 30-metre line, and Tate is there, wraps him up, puts him down with the help of Mannering. And then from Gordon, it's gone to Michaels, and Michaels has his legs snapped from under him by Packer. Good tackle for a big man. Bailey then decides he'll take them on. Mannering and Packer make the tackle. 40 metres out from the Gold Coast line. Friend got it off to Rogers. He was tackled. He loses the ball. And Packer was involved in that tackle with Mannering, so they put back-to-back tackles together. Now Hohaya in a personal confrontation out there with LaFranchi, or in fact it's Greg Bird.
Just a little off the pace, the Gold Coast Titans, aren't they? Struggling to get into their work.
I just had Minicello in the glasses for a little while. He's really sucking them in. He's doing it tough at the moment. Mark. Now Michael Luck. He'll play the ball. 35 out. Down the middle of the ground. The first night of the finals. And Packer it is. Who's packing plenty of punch, isn't he? Big raw-boned fellow. Now Jeremiah goes second man. Back to Seymour. Back to Brown. Brown is up to the 10-metre line. And he's tackled low by Bailey and up the top by Scott Prince. Ohio dummy half. First receiver Seymour. He puts a kick over. Plenty of time to put it up there for Locke to bat it down. Knocked down by Tate. And it's recovered there, but no advantage to the Gold Coast. No advantage. They will get the feed.
Just looking for the kick to go a little bit deeper. Need to land them up around the try line. So if you are batting it back, there's not a lot of work to do. But physically, they're on top of the Warriors, and they're making it easy for themselves because their completion rate is very, very good. 7 from 8. Titans, less football, 4 from 6.
Toyota Cup tonight, the Rabbitohs, who were first to cross the line in the Toyota Cup, they beat the Titans, but not before a struggle, 24-22. And the Titans led 22-6 at half-time.
They led 22-6 with about 15 minutes to go.
Here's Greg Bird. He'll play the ball just inside the 20-metre line as it comes now with Zillman. And taken down by two of the smaller men, Jeremiah and Seymour. Now it's Harrison's turn. And Ashley Harrison playing the ball. 33 metres out from his line. Picked up by Friend, and it's gone away now to LaFranchi. And LaFranchi playing up the front these days in the number 10 shirt. Plays it to Friend. That's knocked down. He's got him for offside. He's got him for not direct, in fact, Sam Rapira. So the Coast will get a penalty, and it'll be welcome, believe me.
Yeah, it's become a little bit of the fashion these days too. Is markers just getting the dummy half. If the dummy half's a bit slow, see, he wasn't that far offside at all. He was back. The dummy half advanced to him, and he slapped away at his arms and knocked it down. That's a pretty harsh call. But it just might start to kick-start the Titans here, who are, I've got to say, very sluggish. Very tough last round game against the Tigers to get a top 4 spot. They haven't hit their straps here yet.
Minicello underneath that tackle, 30 metres away from the Warriors line. And here's Bailey on the hurdy-gurdy before turning it back to Zillman. 23 metres out now from the line. A chance for the Titans. Prince having to look at the line basically for the first time. Rogers, and now Torpy turns the ball inside for Atkins, who on debut scored 4 tries. Now it's gone to Greg Bird, and Bird decides to take them on himself, but they've got him well and truly covered. Greg Bird not happy with some of the treatment handed out by Lewis Brown. Now it's Friend going across, picking up Prince, puts a kick in off the outside edge. Did he get there in time? Did he get there in time, William Zillman?
Be a miracle if he has. I thought when he kicked this, it had gone to Coolangatta. He really punched it into the in goal.
That's what you have to look at.
And Zillman made up ground very, very quickly late. I think it'd be a miracle if he's got there.
Well, he's very confident. He's timed it beautifully. In recent weeks, they've had success to the left with the grubber. With the high kick, it's more to the right-hand side. But it's bounced nicely for him, and from that angle, it looks favourable. We'll get a better one. Leads the chase. He's only got to get the ball down in a good fashion, and he does. Scott Prince through for William Zillman. And Might have been off the pace, but they're back in the ball game now. 6-all, about to be.
This will be green. So it's a try. It's the first try of the night for the Titans. Back in a moment. It's a dastardly angle. I remember the other day we sold out on somebody who scored a try. I think it might have been the Roosters. I was convinced he'd put the ball down over the dead ball line.
Sean Kenny Dowell against Manly there.
Probably, Peter. Probably. Sean Kenny Dowell. But you're looking at rump steak, really. That's what you're looking at. So I thought I might just stay out of that and sit on the pickets. Well, there he is, William Zillman, who has scored a try. In fact, he had plenty of time, as it turned out, to get it down.
Well, when it came off the boot of Scotty Prince, I really thought that was going out the back, but he never gave up. And the last bounce was a nice one. It sat up a little bit. He did really well. There's a bit of moisture down on that field because some rain here at the Gold Coast today. So to get the slippery ball down, running at that pace from up where it was, a couple of feet off the ground and plant it down, it's a brilliant effort.
So Prince, first time he visited the opposition 20-metre zone, he worked his magic and they level up at 6-all. That might take a little bit of a spring out of the step of the Warriors, Wally Lewis.
It certainly might, and this is a move that was first started by Billy Slater and Cameron Smith. The Keno replay will show absolute perfection to timing and great speed by William Zillman. He's a little bit faster than his father, Mark Zillman, who was a front rower representing Brisbane and around about 3 or 4 stone heavier.
Now there's some stats for you.
Exactly right. So the Warriors restarting at 6-all, and it's Bailey who brings it back.
Who did he say? Mark Zillman. He's just fallen off the lounge at home, Mark Zillman. How did he get a mention in the semis?
So Harrison, well, he doesn't just remember him, he remembers that he was quite slow, 4 stone heavier than William, and played in the front row. So he's really stamped him in the memory of the great king. So it is Harrison with the ball now as the Gold Coast Titans get it back up towards halfway. Rogers kicks it down towards Hohaya, who brings it back towards Friend, and he's rounded up by Nathan Friend right on the 20-metre line, Peter.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether it'll take too much out of the Warriors. Sure, I'll be disappointed, but the fact that it came from a kick, you know, that can happen. If it's well placed, as Scott Prince did on that occasion. Well, they weren't busted the first time that they were down there, as Jeremiah does a great job to step a couple.
So it's the Warriors now with Farfay taking it down the left side. He loses the ball backwards and away goes Scott Prince. And Prince hesitates but is tackled and put to ground. I think for a moment he thought the referee was going to call it back. But he plays the ball to Atkins. They're 35 metres out from the line. Here's Greg Bird with the run up the middle.
Well, there's the first forced pass we've seen from the Warriors. Manu Vatuvei throwing a pass that was always going to be difficult to find a receiver. Minicello inside the 20.
Centre of the ground. Ball to be played by Mark Minicello. Back for Friend to run out and dummy once before finding Rogers with the ball. And Rogers is only 7 metres away from the uprights. Right in the middle of the ground, down at the southern end. Here's Prince again. Oh, he put the ball out there for Zillman, who ran at the hole. I can't imagine why he didn't catch that pass.
Well, he ended up weighing the in goal untouched. He went without the ball. It's no good being in the in goal if you haven't got the ball. Look at that. He's through the hole over the try line, but he didn't have the necessary luggage.
So Mannering it is who's playing the ball as the changes start to happen. Rapira has gone from the field. Lillyman has come on. Jacob Lillyman, an Origin player, on in 17. As it goes away now to Maloney, and then he gives the ball to Mannering. Mannering goes across to Packer. And Packer, Nathan Friend having a handful there to contain the much, much bigger man. Play back to Jeremiah. And then the right foot kick from James Maloney, who debuted for this club, the Warriors, in the opening round of this competition against the Gold Coast. So he's in what you might call familiar territory for a person, a rookie in his first year, obviously.
Yeah, the Gold Coast played the Warriors twice this year. That game you're talking about, round 1, round 21. Won both of those, but the biggest margin was just 8.
Minicello strong with that run. Out to the 30-metre line. Friend looking for a penalty as he goes up the middle. 40 metres away. Tackle number 4 has been called. And the tackle was made by Lilliman before it's kicked by Prince. And he's driven it down inside the 40-metre line, down towards the 10-metre line. And here's Locke now bringing the ball back for the Warriors. Kevin Locke, 23 metres out from his own line. A surrender tackle called down there. Gavin Badger is the second referee out there tonight. This is Brent Tate put down on the 30-metre line.
And Russell Packer off now. Ben Matalino out there as the ball comes his way.
Bird making that tackle on Brett Seymour as he comes away from Joel Moon and goes to Valavey. He puts a shoulder on Scott Prince. And he goes spewing out the back.
That'll test the shoulders. Manu says, get out of my way, and Scotty Prince ends up out the back door.
Certainly, sir. Now it's with Michael Luck.
Looked like he'd thrown him out of a nightclub.
Played back to Hohaya, then to Maloney. Steps and puts a little kick in, a regather, a pick up, and he's away, but he's tackled low by Bailey. Got a ball away. Matalino is number 15. They're working on the 20-metre line. Ball has gone to Brent Tate. He puts a kick across, and it's gone down towards Atkins, and he has to go high. And he's taken by the halfback, Seymour. Well, there was some urgency there. And away goes Zillman again. Referee might have got in the road for a moment, but he's taken by Hohaya. Zillman playing the ball on his own 40-metre line, but he's not going to because there's a penalty.
Yep, second attempt there from Lance Hohaya. Just starting to open up a little bit now, springing the step of the Titans. Scott Prince found touch very quickly there. He wants to keep the roll going.
So nothing in the possession, nothing really in the sets. Gold Coast have had one more opportunity with the ball than the Warriors. And that is Lafranchi banged down into the ground there by Lilliman and Matalino. 15 away from the line. Friend, Prince is with the ball. Back to Zillman. Zillman got it onto Torpy. Torpy taken down. And tackled by Joel Moon. This is Atkins, and Atkins gets to within 3 metres of the line on tackle number 4. Played to Friend, and Friend goes behind Bailey. Then it goes on to Prince. It goes long and wide to Rogers, who dummies and gets the ball to Michaels. He gets out of a tackle, gets it to Kevin Gordon. Gordon is taken down very close to the line. 5 tackles gone against the Titans. Still with a chance. Maybe off the boot of Rogers. He puts it in towards the uprights, and it's Seymour. Seymour tackled in goal, so they get a repeat set.
Lovely sustained attack. They're really stretching the Warriors, and a few of the Warriors players down on their haunches, struggling to get the air in. They asked questions on just about every play of that set of 6, right up to the final one, where a kick into the in goal has got them a repeat set. Now the Warriors have got more defence to do. And I think it was Luke Bailey, was it, that came racing through?
Yes, it was.
To make the tackle. Now Luke Bailey is playing with plates in his hand after an operation a fortnight ago. Brad Fittler was telling me he went to Gold Coast Titans training this week, and Luke Bailey was running around like an 18-year-old kid. So enthusiastic and ready to play.
That's a hell of a drop kick. Matthew White it is.
Oh!
Taking it back, and big collision there with Brent Tate. And the 16ers out there for the Warriors. Ta'ai. Players just outside the 20-metre line. Warriors into the ground. Friend inquiring down towards the 10-metre line. So it's gone away from Minicello. Oh, beautiful pick up by Kevin Gordon. That was a lovely pair of hands. Well, the Warriors asked some questions earlier, and it looked like a tired Gold Coast, but now it looks exactly the opposite, with Harrison tackled in the middle of the ground. 12 metres out from the uprights. White went on for Lafranchi, by the way, as Prince puts a kick out high towards Atkins. Varnavay hasn't got it. Torpy has. Torpy has scored, I think. They will want to look at the grounding, but Clinton Torpy, a former New Zealand international, I think he might have got himself a 4-pointer.
Well, just checking a couple of things. The onside as always, and whether there's any contact from the Titans players, but it did look as though Vatavei went up, propelled the football forward, straight into the arms. The chase is fine. As I said earlier, they seem to have success with the left-hand side grubbers and the right-hand side bombs. And that seems to be okay. The 19 is Atkins. He goes up.
Yeah, it's deliberate here. Atkins goes up and knocks it back. Knocks it back.
Looks fine.
Well, either way, it's okay.
Yep. It's either Manu knocking it on, but I'm sure Atkins went up deliberately to knock it back in the path of Torpy. Atkins is all back. I think Manu Varduve gets a hand on it before then. Torpy is just waiting. Burrows his way into the in goal. And the Titans will have their second try. Sustained pressure.
What a story he's been, Clinton Torpy. Basically regarded as the best centre in the game in 2002 and gets a try tonight.
Yes, he was. Peter's right. I remember, I think it was a match we covered at North Harbour. And the New Zealand side gave Australia a thorough belting. And this fellow, he dominated that game. I think it was North Harbour. But he, as Peter said, was one of the best in that era. So the number 4, I told you the story earlier that I was reading today where he was supposedly playing bodyguard for Scotty Prince. Well, Kevin Costner has scored the second try for the Titans, starring in an unlikely movie, Clinton Torpy.
And such an astute kicking game the Gold Coast Titans boast, with a number of players. Obviously the 7 and the 6, predominantly Scott Prince, Matt Rogers. 2 tries tonight, both off the boot. The momentum has swung.
Prince is right on the 20-metre line. He's a metre in from touch on the western side. To convert the try, scored by Clinton Torpy. It left the boot okay. It's online, and it's there. So the 4 becomes 6, and the Titans become 12. 12-6 in favour of the Gold Coast. Fred Fiddler.
What an outstanding goal kick there by Scott Prince. Just want to take you back to the dropout. The Titans come here expecting contact. They knew they were going to have to absorb a lot of punishment with these big Warriors forwards. Look at that big hit. While the Warriors are going back thinking about it, the next play is little blokes jumping out of dummy half, taking on the Kumatai and these sort of blokes who are coming up with his big contact.
Thank you, Brad. On the sideline tonight, Brad Fiddler and Wally Lewis, and this is Matthew White returning the kickoff. It was a good chase, really, by the Warriors. White only got it 15 metres down the ground, and a little bit of a disagreement goes on after the play the ball from Matthew White. It was Minicello, who I did say was sucking them in big time about 10 minutes ago. He's playing a strong role now that, of course, the pendulum has swung their way, and they've got more of the football rather than doing all the tackling. Here's Rogers.
It's amazing how much better you feel when some points are scored. That wasn't the last tackle now, so Scott Prince can drive it down into the corner. But high up, well placed. Chase is good.
So to the 20-metre line. Lance Hohai. Playing the ball back for James Maloney, and it's gone over to Kevin Locke, and then it's gone on to Brett Seymour. Seymour turning it in for Varduve. And urgently, you might say, Greg Bird thrust himself down around the legs on the big man.
Ray, some of these Warriors forwards have got their hands on their hips and can't get back to get into the game. It's all backline players here at the moment running the ball for them. And you just get the feeling that some of the visitors are really gasping for air.
Well, he's doing a power of work, isn't he, Varduve? There's no doubt about that. Now we find the ball finishing up with Madalino, and Madalino is taken by Matthew White up the top in jumper number 16, and he's lost the ball.
Yeah, and that's about the 3rd time now that the Warriors have been looking for hard straight runners, and playmakers have gone across field and had to turn the ball back inside to a man standing still, who then tries to advance the football. And that's a sure sign of fatigue. Some of these Warriors forwards just haven't got their head in the contest at the moment. They've got their head in their own fatigue and can't quite contribute. And the drop ball there from Madalino is another sign of tiredness. Good chance here for the Titans if they can dominate a little bit of possession in the 9 minutes up to the break. They might blow in a couple of tries here.
There's Minicello working from outside the scrum, and they're having a bit of a time trying to put him down. He loses the ball. Badger asks a question. Arm goes up. It's a penalty to the Titans.
Yeah. And this is the interpretation of the rule that I don't like, because Minicello contributes to this as much as anyone. He's pushing and pulling, and he's trying to get his arms free. It's not necessarily the Warriors player who pulls the ball free. It's Minicello who loses it, trying to pull his arms free. For me, that's not a strip.
Here's Bailey looking for a hit and spin play, which he does eventually. 17 is with the ball. That's Bodine Thompson. And Thompson plays the ball on the 30-metre line. Fred turns it in for Harrison. Harrison is held there by Brent Tate, together with Ta'ai. Now Fred, he goes short and gets the ball away to Zillman. Zillman's out of the tackle. He's over again, Zillman. His second try of the night, but they want to go upstairs.
Well, I don't think there's much to look at here. There was a little bit of a shuffle around the dummy half area, but this is just the Titans playing on the tiredness of the Warriors forwards. They were on their heels, couldn't mark up. Sharp dummy half play, good footwork, and a fast man, Zillman, pulls through the defence.
He's having a good time at the back in the absence of Preston Campbell. His support play is great. Slides in, does James Maloney. No real contact there. So he can find that the players who missed Zillman originally, Madalino and Hahaya.
Well, I hope they're not looking at a possible 8-point try here.
No, there it is. It's a try. So it's the third of the night for the Titans, and it's the second for William Zillman. It could have easily been 3, if you remember that hole that he ran into. Scott Prince put a ball right where Zillman wanted it earlier, and he just ran into space. So the Titans, after taking a real battering early, they were big, they were strong, they were aggressive, the Warriors. It was energy sapping, but they absorbed that. Then they came back and struck back and said, here comes the Empire, we're back.
Yeah, and I just got through saying if the Titans could dominate possession this last 9 minutes, they'll run a couple of tries in. There's the first one. There's still 7 minutes to go. That try was made not only by great dummy half play, but by the run of Scott Prince, who Nathan Friend, the hooker, uses as a decoy to come back the other way. Prince will pilot this through the post. We'll give you a look at the try again. But it's the effort of Scott Prince and his run to the blind side that makes it for the dummy half to make his play. Just watch here as the ball is played. Prince goes sprinting from right to left. So he goes running around the short side. Friend goes with him and then comes back this way to find a fast player on tired forwards, and he just wrong foots them and gets into the in goal. Keno replay picks up Scotty Prince's decoy run there beautifully.
Zillman is playing a remarkably similar role to the one that Michael Gordon is playing for Penrith in the absence of Lachlan Cooper.
Well, he's having a great time in a rare opportunity for him, and you can see what that try meant to John Cartwright. He knows that points leading into half-time so important. Thompson now. They came on the back of a questionable penalty, but if you're to do well in finals, you've just got to suck that up and defend it, and the Warriors didn't.
I used to go to the races with John Cartwright. If his horse was in front at the 200, you had to move sideways because he could wield the whip pretty good riding it home. You had to be out of the way.
Harrison playing the ball. Prince it is, putting this kick down the ground from inside the 40, but it wasn't an attempt at 40-20. got it standing up down there on the line, and Kevin Locke is going to be picked up and taken back and driven down.
And lose the ball.
Oh, hang on a moment, they've taken the ball legally and gone over Matt Rogers.
Wow.
Well, have they? No, hang on. Tony Archer saying, I call dominant tackle.
Yeah, a bit of confusion between the two referees here. They'll go and have a look on the video referee. But Tony Archer calls dominant tackle at the time.
It's not a try.
He's saying it's not a try now, even though Badger wanted to have a look.
Tackle, right? You can't play on after the ball comes out. It is a scrum, not a try.
Why, Tony?
Because I called tackle. I can't check once I call tackle, okay? It's a scrum.
Okay, let's have a listen to it and see what he says.
Check it!
Right, I can't hear Tony Archer at all. It doesn't mean that he didn't say it, but we can't hear it.
I called dominant tackle.
Well, he was a long, long way away. Tony Archer was the referee. Well, there's confusion.
Ball comes out fairly quickly as well. Like there.
It's out. He's lost it. But we can't hear Tony Archer on the referee's mics. That's not to say that we didn't hear him, that he didn't say it, but the confusion between the two referees on the field as to whether or not that was a completed tackle or was still allowed to be play on. Anyway, the Titans have still got the ball. 5 minutes to go before the half-time. The visitors, they've got the wobbly boot on. They're in trouble.
Here's Prince with an awful pass. A left-to-right pass. It was certainly not up to the standards of Scott Prince, and I don't know that that's shoulder-related. Here's Fred giving it back to Myers, and Myers will play the ball. 11 away from the New Zealand line. Friend onto Prince, and he goes away, and it comes back from Bird for Rogers.
Beautiful.
Rogers has scored. That's a wonderful pass by Bird.
It's beautiful. It's a lovely set play. We see a lot of this on different parts of the field, sometimes out wide, sometimes off the dummy half, but the out ball, in ball. The ability to stretch the defence with an out ball and then put a man back on the inside through a hole with a quick hands in ball. Watch this. Perfect. Slides away, takes the out ball, quick hands in ball, prizes open the defence like a crowbar, Rabbits. They prize them open like a crowbar.
Yeah, we saw Manly score against the Roosters a couple of weeks ago. Steve Matai going through, stretching the defence. Man on the inside, just didn't have the speed in Simon Mannering to come across and cover the hole. Nice awareness, real 45-degree angle run. And that prizes the defence open.
You might have noticed in some of the pictures that we were showing you after, or while Tony Archer was saying, I call dominant tackle. Rogers, he dismissed the worry about the try being disallowed as he begs the crowd now to get behind him. He went straight to Greg Bird, and there was a distinct conversation between Rogers and Bird, and I've got a strong thought that Rogers said, never mind about that, we're going to get the scrum feed, let's put that play together now, the one that we've been working on.
And you heard the volume rise there as Matt Rogers made his way back down into his own 20-metre zone, and he pumped up the crowd and they reacted. And Scott Prince now to make it 3 converted tries in front, and he misses.
So Wally on the sideline, 22-6 now.
Very impressive, the execution of that move. You can see Bird positioning himself in an absolutely perfect space. Just watch Brett Seymour, number 7 for the Kiwis. He ran directly up to try and take Bird. At no stage did he have a look at the execution of the play inside him. That's a pretty poor read on that occasion, but it came out of some pretty good build-up work by the Titans. The execution of a wonderful move.
It's great coaching. It really is.
Here's White with a strong run back. Went through Ta'ai and he's left another. Oh, not Brent Tate again. He's okay. He's getting up, but he's a bit sick and sorry. He lost the ball there. Bodine Thompson losing the ball. Over the 4 weeks of the Telstra Premiership Final Series, the NRL, in support of the Cancer Council's fight against cancer, are painting the field numbers yellow. And the referees will also be showing their support by wearing yellow socks. 1 in every 2 Australians will be diagnosed with cancer by the age of 85. And for more information, go to www.cancer.org.au.
Brent Tate getting a little bit of treatment. Rabbit said he was sick and sorry, but he's been there before, so he'll battle his way through that.
Come back on, ball it.
The Warriors need it. There's only 2 minutes to go before the halftime break here. I suggested they were ready to concede a couple. They did. They would love to hit back here with a late one, just to steady the ship before they go and talk to their coach.
And here's Mannering with the ball. 12 metres away from the line. 22-6. They led 6-0 the Warriors. 22 unanswered points since, as it goes zinging along the back line to Ta'ai, who gets an arm free and loses the ball.
Yeah.
So they're not the well-oiled machine that we were watching in the opening 15 minutes of this night.
Yeah, they've got some young players here in the forward pack that, you know, the scoreboard could really eat away at their confidence. And this young man there just holding the ball a little bit loose, trying a bit too hard to come up with a play and get them back in the game. He really hasn't got to pass on, but he's trying to make the ball available, and in the slippery conditions it's easily come loose.
Just going back to that call of Tony Archer where he said, I call dominant tackle. I compliment him, really. He stepped in and snuffed out any further controversy that might have been extended from that. He said to Badger, hold it, I call dominant tackle.
That's why, Rhodes, you've got to have one referee, one boss. Now, if they put 2 referees out there, the other bloke shouldn't have a whistle or a call. There should always be the one referee and the boss, then you don't get that confusion.
Bird again with an inside pass. Zillman has already got a couple. He's down inside the 30. Tackle, loses the ball, and it's eventually cleaned up by the Warriors and returned down the ground by Hohaya, who finishes up with the football.
We've got a Titans player injured in backfield. That was some nice play there from Hohaya. Only 25 seconds to go before the break.
And it's Greg Bird who's down injured. The ball is towed through. Zillman's back there for it. That's not a bad trick in itself. And Zillman takes the tackle of Locke.
Well, he was the one that lost the ball 70 metres downfield. Johnny Cartwright's got the shirt out. That's a bad sign.
This is Steve Michaels going across the ground, and he gave a ball on the inside for Kevin Gordon, who's trying to get out of the clutches of the tackler. And Bird is back on his feet. Ronnie Palmer's assisting the second rower from the park. The halftime hooter has sounded, and after a barnstorming start and leading 6-0, the Warriors have let in 22 unanswered points. We're talking about the age difference. I think the age difference is 3 years per player, and the average experience difference is 50 first-grade games per player.
Absolutely. And this is the time of year where that will come to the fore, and we've just seen 40 minutes of it there. Not that it's over, because, you know, young legs on the other team, they just might power home with a comeback in the second half. We'll wait and see.
So the Titans running up towards the northern end of the ground this time at Skill Park, and it's Madalino who carries it back. He'll play the ball 18 metres away from his own line. That is Ta'ai. And, Brad Myers picked him up and drove him down with the help of Ashley Harrison.
What a good tackle.
It was a good tackle, Peter. They didn't lift him above the horizontal, did they? They didn't angle him into the ground, I mean.
And it's very rare to see Ta'ai picked up and put on his back in such fashion.
The defence coach, Trevor Gilmeister, will be licking his lips down there. That was run right out of his copybook.
So Maloney it is who kicks, and did he kick from inside the 40? I think he did. That's why there's such intensity down there in the defence of the Titans. It's a brilliant piece of work by Zillman, and he realises and he does that, and then Kevin Gordon takes it back.
He's been quite the man tonight, William Zillman, hasn't he?
Well, I made the parallel or the analogy that he's doing a Michael Gordon in Preston Campbell's shoes, like Michael is doing for Lachlan Coote. They're very pleasant worries, aren't they, for John Cartwright and Matthew Elliott. So across now for Rogers to kick, and it's gone down to the 10-metre line where Hohaya brings it back, and he's just outside the 20-metre line. Of course, he's lost the ball. Yeah, he's lost the ball, and this is going to give the Titans a wonderful opportunity. High fives down there, Bodine Thompson, Matthew Rogers.
Well, driving defence. Almost saw a try late in that first half when Kevin Locke was driven back. The arm of Thompson there just coming over the top of a poor ball carry from Lance Hahaya. Didn't have it secure enough. Looks a little bit greasy out there as well, so your attention to detail has to be good.
Wow, this could be domino here.
Tomorrow night, of course, at 6:30, you'll see the Tigers up against the Roosters as the Gold Coast Titans win the scrum. And of course, I was talking about Penrith, and they will play the second game at 8:30, Penrith and Canberra. Two wonderful games back-to-back as they go out to one of our try scorers here, Clinton Torpey, who play the ball 12 metres out from the line. Can they benefit from this mistake from the Warriors? This is White, who's been very strong in his ball carries, but he's lost the ball here.
Oh, that's a penalty. Well, we thought, you know what we thought, right?
I know exactly.
You know what we thought.
I know exactly what you were thinking. Warren has Jona'd them again.
Well, you can give Tony Archer another rap here. He saved your bacon.
Simon Mannering coming out to question the referee as the Titans decide to take.
Then he's allowed to play at the arm, but he's not allowed to play at the ball and tweak the ball like he did. I understand that, but he still can't take the ball out of his hands, mate. He can only play at the arm.
See, what is wrong with this rule is that there's a lack of understanding in that in defence, your responsibility is not only to stop the man, but it is to stop the football. So how do you tackle someone like Feletti Mateo without actually getting your arm or your hand around it to stop those offloads? And the ball is going to come loose. And a lot of times you're not raking it. You're stopping the football, the advancement of the football, and that is part of the defensive responsibility.
Coaches have sacked players for ages now for not shutting down the play. That's the way they coach.
Well, that wasn't a strip. He got what he deserved there.
Touch of deja vu here. I think we've had this conversation before. We are not making any impression on the people that make the rules.
No, you've got to keep batting away, Rabbits.
Okay.
Don't give up.
Okay. I declared about 12 months ago.
I'm not giving up.
Here's Prince picking up another 2. 24 plays 6 now. This incident is the one we're talking about, Matthew White. I was giving him a rap for his good carries in the game so far, and then there he was adding, if you like, to the situation.
He deserves to get it taken away.
And he was looking to offload, I suppose, and somebody decides to shut the ball down and he gets penalised. Doesn't add up, really. 10 metres out from their own line, then the Gold Coast. They've been down there. They didn't go back empty-handed. They went back with 2 points. Warren Ryan would say that's good. I think he used to say that to Canterbury. If you go down there, don't come back empty-handed, even if it's only a point.
Well, it stretched the lead to 18. That's significant. Even 6s.
Here's Greg Bird. I think Barbar went down there one day, though, didn't he? He was 12-10 down and he kicked a field goal, came back with 12-11. Harrison.
He was near-sighted, Bar. He was cheering. Everyone wondered what he was doing.
God bless you, Terry. Here's the kick down the ground, and it's Hahaya who's bringing it back, and he runs into that right shoulder leading from Rogers. He was given a nice send-off here last Friday night. And that's Vatavei, equally strong with that run, met by Brad Myers. And this is Joel Moon, former Bronco. He would have been at the Broncos in 06. He wasn't, from memory, think was a member of the squad, but he was certainly at the Broncos. Here's Brent Tate now. He'll play the ball on the Titans' red line, and Seymour turns the ball inside for Lillyman. And he's put down by Harrison and Myers. And now away for Seymour, and he puts it very high. It's got a lot of hang time, and Zillman, oh, he's had an air swing, and it's gone backwards. No, he's ruling that he knocked on Zillman. And I don't think I'm going to rush in and argue with what Tony Archer has said here.
Yeah, it's an interesting call because the ball comes down behind him, but that doesn't mean it wasn't knocked towards the opponent's in goal, which is the only criteria here. Now he's saying, yeah, he did. even though it was behind him, he knocked it towards the Warriors' end of the field. See that there? So that's fair enough.
So it's a good chance for the Warriors now.
Well, it's a chance they have to take advantage of. I know there's a long way to go in this game, but they need some help. They need their confidence lifted. And this is a great chance.
So a back of the scrum play for the hooker, in fact, Jeremiah. And now Vatave. He will play the ball 7 metres out from the line. He shoves Greg Bird away. Bird laughs back in his face. The 17 is Lillyman, as I said. And they're 2 metres away, so now a test for the Titans' online defence. Jeremiah, Seymour, Maloney out to Ta'ai. And he's 8 metres away from the line. To Maloney again. Now for Matalino. They converge, 4 of them. And the ball played 3 metres out from the line. Jeremiah, second man from Seymour to Hohaya. And it's gone on to Joel Moon. He's over the line as he scored. I think he's going to point at the ground. Yes, he's pointed to the spot. Joel Moon has scored for the Warriors.
Now they've got some incentive. And it was well worked, well executed. The Titans did a great job to almost deny it. So many of the sides love this second man play, but the important thing here is the straightening of this man here. Lancer Hyatt, he commits Torpy. That opened up the overlap, and Joel Moon wasn't able to take full advantage of it, but he was close enough to get the ball on the line.
So a dejected figure there for the first time in the game, William Zillman. It was his attempt to take the high ball where the knock-on was found, and that gave them the ascendancy for that youngster Joel Moon to come up with the Warriors' second try of the game. So 24-10 with the kicker goal to come for conversion for that man's try, Joel Moon. Into the side for Rapati. And James Maloney, who only debuted in 09 down in Melbourne, comes from Orange in New South Wales. There's the kick from 5 metres in from touch, and it's a lovely kick. It is a bottle of a kick. And the try scorer applauds. Wally, 50 minutes gone, 24-12.
And I bet there's a couple of Warriors players pretty happy that they've managed to be able to score on this Keno replay. We see the ball being shifted to the left. Absolutely identical play to just 2 tackles before that. Brent Tate, he was unmarked and could have scored quite a comfortable try. On this occasion, they managed to be able to time the pass quite well, run into the gap, and the strength he showed just to be able to get through 3 defenders. That's going to put some confidence back in the Warriors tank.
Comments on the sideline tonight from Wally Lewis and from Brad Fiddler. First night of our finals coverage. Tomorrow night, of course, as I said, West Tigers up against the Sydney Roosters at 6:30. Penrith up against Canberra at 8:30. Paul Vorton will join Peter and I at the footy stadium. There's a high shot here. Phil will be with Andrew down at Penrith. Greg Bird's the man that's the offender.
And a little bit of back chat there too from the Gold Coast side. Advances the ball and a good kick for touch. Gets a little bit of momentum now for the Warriors. If they can come and spend some time down here, get another try, they're back in it.
Seymour shovels it along the line out to Lillyman. And Lillyman is about 6 metres into his opposition territory before Michael Luck linked the play, linked the passing out to Matalino. Matalino playing the ball. Big Ben, as he's known. And goes from Maloney, and then a juggle from Hohaya. He gets it away to Seymour. Mannering pointing to the sky. Maybe just saying one more. And to the 20-metre line for Simon Mannering. Now it's to Maloney, and just juggled it there for a moment. I thought he was shaping to kick early, but he wasn't. And now here's the kick from Seymour, looking for Locke, and it comes down and it's batted over the in-touching goal by Gordon. And they're going back for a line dropout.
Yeah, they've ruled knock on here against Gordon. Now, Gordon had his foot on the line or just inside his in goal when he leapt for this. And they're going to rule that he got first touch. A replacement coming on, the 14, Michael Henderson. And that's all Gordon. His hands have knocked that forward. And he did well to get it out of the field of play before Tate came in. You see he's inside the in goal there. So Tony Archer right on the spot with that one.
Let's stay behind.
Well, some more pressure. This is their 5th set of 6 in a row now for the Warriors.
So the Rogers drop out, 50 metres to lock. Lillyman takes it back, and they're 31 metres out from the line. On tackle number 1, Brad Myers making the tackle. This is Ta'i running it at Friend. They'll have to run the ball that Innes way. He's got such high numbers in the tackle count, but he doesn't shirk his task. He's in everything, Nathan Friend. Great contributor since day 1 to this club. They were voted Community Club of the Year too. I know that pleased Michael Searle. Here's Jeremiah going back to Michael Luck, and Luck is able to spin free from a tackle from Bird. Now they're only 5 metres out. Tackle 5 is upon them. There's the kick across the ground, well taken by Michaels. That was drilled along the ground.
He had to stand his ground there too. He knew he was going to get belted for his trouble. He kept his eyes on the ball. He's a much improved player, this young man. Michaels goes through the legs of Rogers and bang.
This is Henderson who's into the game. Michael Henderson. Now from Harrison, a sloppy pass from him across to Torpy.
That's a turning point in the game there. The Warriors would have loved to have got it in goal. Line drop out again, maintain the pressure, but Michaels did well, and now they create a chance out wide for Bodine Thompson, but he slips. Last tackle.
This is Rogers kicking on the final tackle. He's put it out on the full, so the turnover will come back to around about the halfway line, so that's, again, good field position. Yeah, from a Warriors point of view.
He's dirty with himself there, Matt Rogers. He had to work hard to get the kick away. He had to dance around, dodge around, and then he tried to bite off too much. That kick probably should have gone down towards the post. He was lucky to get his foot the ball.
Madalino has come off. Packer has gone back on. Jeremiah goes dummy half for Rapira, who's back on. This is Packer. And he's 25 out down the centre of the ground. For Jeremiah to turn it in, for Seymour to go back and across for Hohaya to turn it back on the inside for Ta'i. And he'll play the ball 15 metres away from the uprights down at the southern end, and Jeremiah goes ahead after a checkered passage. Got the ball back for Seymour, back to Maloney, back to Ta'i, back now to Maloney. Maloney staggers for a couple of seconds before trying to dart through. And Maloney plays the ball to Brent Tate. He goes long away to the 7, Seymour. There's a chance here, although I think Torpy has waited for it. Yes, he's put his shadow across it. He certainly made sure Jeremiah had to take the long road to get to it.
That was a pretty cool play there by
Torpy.
Torpy.
You can say that again.
He showed real nerve here because, look at that, he really rolled the dice there. Came up with the money, though.
So Nathan Friend on his own 30-metre line. Plays it for Zillman to get the ball away. That's Henderson with the ball. Team that lost this corresponding game last year, you might remember, was eliminated. It was Manly. In fact, in the 12 years of the McIntyre system, I think I'm right in saying the loser of this corresponding final, it's only been twice it's happened in week 1. And here's the Warriors managing to get it back into the field of play. Dragons 94 and Manly last year.
2004. Rabs is higher away.
And higher it is, Peter. You're quite right. Out to the 30-metre line in the centre of the ground. Plays it back for Seymour. He runs and looks off to his left, but Jeremiah, he couldn't get to him. There was a defender in the road.
It was battered by, good shot there. Henderson.
That's Henderson.
Oh, that's a beauty.
Played now for Hohaya to go to Packer this time. And Packer, who had, as I said, a real big part in the opening of this game. That's that tackle from Henderson on Vatavai. Vatavai, whatever the name is, I'm not quite sure, but I know one thing: he's one hell of a winger.
Yeah, Jeremiah just finding touch there, playing field position, and just on the fact that the loser of this game has gone out twice. The only saving grace, I guess, for the Titans is that those two teams you mentioned, Dragons and Manly, they were both 5th place getters. Team 4 has not gone out as yet.
Let's go for a sideline comment with the pictures in the background of Ivan Cleary watching his team trailing by 12. Wally.
Well, what's been a very noticeable feature for the Warriors in this early 15 minutes of the second half is that they've increased the speed of the game. It seems to be the best performance so far of the game. I think the only way that the Gold Coast Titans can look at it is to up-tempo even more, run them off their feet. It proved too quick for the big forwards of the Warriors pack in the first half. I think they should be able to do it again.
Lousy has gone on for Ta'ai.
Well, they need possession to do that. In the first 15 minutes of this second half, it has predominantly been in the hands of the Warriors. That's how they've got back into it. Titans now just looking to steady the ship and get some possession. They'll kick here, play field position and try and force the mistake.
This is Anthony Lafranchi, and he's put it to ground, and it went... it's 6 more tackles he's ordered. It actually came in contact with Lousy, and then one of the Gold Coast Titans jumped on the ball for the 0 tackle. The tackle count to be nullified. This is Harrison, who's hurt.
Well, he was fortunate there, Anthony Lafranchi. Not the kind of pass you want to throw there. They hadn't had much footy, as I just mentioned, and they're a little bit lucky to get 6 again.
Well, 3 more games this weekend. There'll be all the players from those 6 teams watching this first semi-final tonight. They'll be excited, nervous, can't wait to get out there and play. Tigers, Roosters, 6:30 live tomorrow night. Then off to the Panthers, CUA Stadium for the Panthers versus the Raiders. Sunday, the Dragons and Manly. And of course, there'll be all the players from the 8 teams who aren't in the final sitting at home with a tinge of jealousy and envy and maybe even a pain in the gut, knowing that they're not going to be here in finals time. They'll have to wait till next season. A mistake here by the Gold Coast Titans, and the Warriors starting to backslap a little bit here. They're feeling as though physically they might be on top just in this little period of the game.
So, scrum 7 metres on the Titans side of halfway.
The last 2 visits for the Warriors, they put one not into the in goal and one too deep. And Tate nearly gets through. Harrison hangs on. End of this set, they need to go to the bomb or get a restart. Keep the pressure going. Lousy.
He's taken low by Friend, but he's able to get a good ball away on the outside to Hohaya. And Hohaya will play the ball just inside the 20-metre line. As he plays it back to Jeremiah, it's gone to Packer. Packer goes around behind Mannering. It's gone out through Seymour, and it's finished up out there with Brown. He floats the ball out to Vatavai. Close to the line. Yes. Try 78 for Manu, and that creates a new record for the Warriors.
Well, that's just brute strength. Some wingers score tries with blinding speed, but when you've got a bloke the size of this man, they just throw him the ball near the line, and he muscles his way into the end goal. Peter, he just pushes these blokes out of the way.
He's a great player, Manu Vatavai. He had bad hands a couple of seasons ago. He's improved in all areas, and as you point out, unstoppable.
He scattered a couple of the Titans like 10 pins, this monster of a man. That's the record for him. He's taken Stacey Jones out of the record book. And that's 20 tries in 19 for this season. But his performance, I think Peter pointed out earlier in the telecast, he's not just a winger that scores tries. Well, there he is, Manu Vatavai, or Vatavai, scoring a try that has taken Stacey Jones's club record of 77 out of the books. And that's his 20th try in 19 games this year.
Now, I think you'll be fairly certain there's going to be plenty more to come as well. I watched him score a hat-trick against the Newcastle Knights a couple of weeks ago. One from a bomb, one on the outside of his winger, one straight through his winger. He's deceptive too. He's got good speed. He got outside Inu last week to race away.
There's the kick from Maloney. Is it coming back in time? No. Just failing James Maloney to convert the try for Manu.
Wow. Now, on that play, the pass that goes to Manu Vardave was so smart because they had numbers on them, but this pass here from Lewis Brown, he just says, no, look, I don't need to be tricky here. I've just got to get it to this man, who just absolutely blasts his way into the end goal. Had Lewis Brown overplayed his hand there, the opportunity would have been lost. But he said, no, I'll just give it to the ramrod, and then he went.
So Packer comes back, and one of the Titans was faced with the one-on-one, head-on situation. It was Henderson. He got his job done well. This is Lousy. Did you see those players that tried to stop Vardave? They got scattered like 10 pins. And it took each of them several seconds to find their feet again, following the impact of the collision.
You wouldn't want to be pin number 1, 2 or 3, would you? You want to be up the back line there, 7 to 10.
If ever I'm in a bowling alley, I want to be one of the back pins. This is Packer.
Well, the good thing is I've never seen him angry. I mean, he's always playing with a smile on his face. I don't want to be there the day that Manu gets angry.
Seymour bombs across, and Vardave puts a bat down. Oh, that's a great chase by Zillman.
Brilliant.
That is a tremendous play by William Zillman.
Might be the play of the game so far. That is absolute desperation to get the ball for his team. Mark that down as a possible turning point at the back end of this contest.
24 plays 16. And Bailey it is that thunders ahead. Zillman has scored a couple of tries. He's made a couple of mistakes. But that was a major play. Steve Michaels then running away from Lousy. Then trying to churn his way through the middle of the traffic. But Mannering was there to bring him down on the Warriors' 40-metre line. To the right side for Scott Prince, and he goes high with a midfield bomb, looking for a mistake. It came off the hands of Friend. It's gone down for the Warriors to play on. And it'll be played by Maloney on 0. Now Vardave runs at Atkins, runs at Jordan.
Oh, he's lost it.
And it's gone over the sideline as a result of all of that good work.
And they'll all race over and pat him on the head because they love him, and they know that if you want the good, sometimes you'll get a little bit of the bad. Poor old Manu just shots it into the crowd, and look at that. Get out of my way.
Yeah, he tried to offload there. I thought it just came out in the tackle, but he was actually going to keep the football alive, which wasn't the right play after dispatching Clinton Torpy.
I wonder if that makes him angry. I want to see him angry. Do you think he ever gets angry?
Just updating the betting. Half-time, the Titans were $1.04. They're out to $1.15. The Warriors were $8.50 at half-time. They're $4.75 now. 1-3-3-3-9-0 is the TAB Sportsbet number. And again, we ask you to gamble responsibly. Here's LaFranchi, 12 out from the line.
Well, this is where they can maybe put the game to bed here, the Titans. First time they've been down here this half that I can remember. If they can score.
There's Prince, he's found Rogers, a quick ball for Michaels. Michaels goes in and away, and he puts Gordon over to score. Well, you called for it, Peter, and you got it. Kevin Gordon has scored for the Titans. Some lovely work by Rogers off the back of Prince, and then Michaels off the back of Rogers.
And he made it easier for his winger here too, Steve Michaels, as again Matt Rogers gestures to the crowd to ride them home. Coming to the left after the Vardave mistake. A couple of second man plays, that's where they created it. Beautiful pass there. And then Michaels, if he'd have thrown it to Gordon, might have had room to score, but by going infield, committing the defence and then getting the pass to him, he made sure that his winger had enough room.
See, I see this try as a sign of confidence and maturity and experience in this Gold Coast side. There was no sign of panic, even though the opposition had been through a good period. The scores had tightened up a little bit. Their big lead had evaporated, but now when they got their first opportunity, they came down, executed well. They get their try-scoring winger Gordon in the corner, and that gives them a little more breathing space.
Well,
I got something else to suggest. Maybe that try should be for Kevin Gordon, in brackets William Zillman. It goes back to that play.
Absolutely. That's the turning point of the second half, that Zillman play. Mark that down. If you're looking for individual efforts that can turn a game and turn momentum, Zillman's come up with an absolute cracker.
Well, this is a big play here from Scott Prince, the skipper, as well. He's kicked 4 from 5 tonight. He struck the ball beautifully. All but that one occasion. This could put them outside 2 converted tries.
And that might be unreachable.
Well, 12 behind, you know, the Warriors are thinking, well, at worst, we might be able to get back and go to golden point in this game, but to score 3 tries might be tough.
Well, he's hooked it badly. So the scoreboard stays at 28-16, 2 converted tries.
That play we're talking about with William Zillman, you know, the bomb goes up and Manu goes through and knocks it back. And there's Warriors players there, but the urgency of Zillman to come from the back, scoop it up and get possession for his team was just telling. And then once they get some possession at the other end of the field, a nicely orchestrated play, some smart back line, and they're in the corner. Johnny Cartwright a little more subdued with his celebration this time. Manu looks to the heavens and says, why sometimes so good, why sometimes...
Henderson ran into Manu Vadave.
He might be angry.
And it looked like he'd run into a steam locomotive. Look at that for impact.
I told you.
That's the brutest big hit I've ever seen.
But how do they endure it?
I told you, I never want to see him angry.
A long time after I retired, there was, you know, I missed the game a lot. I see incidents sometimes now where I don't miss the game at all.
Yeah. You must sit back and sometimes say to yourself, why did I get involved in this?
I don't know.
I was there the day Gillespie made a job on you. You know, it was the last tackle of your career, I think. But I thought, what's he doing out there?
Peter, we didn't play this game.
No, that's true.
We played footy, but we didn't play what they're playing out there.
No, you're right.
You're just bashing me up these days in the commentary box. Without retaliation. Here's Tate.
Play on, ball out the back.
Well, he said to play on. I was about to say, well, he's going to call this up, but they've gone to the halfway line. And it's Kevin Locke who plays it back to Sione Lousy to the 40-metre line. And one of the Titans has hurt himself in making a tackle. I think I won't say I think, I'll come back to it. It's Maloney. And it is Ashley Harrison. That's what I was thinking. Here's Lousy with the ball now, and he's gone back for Seymour. He's gone behind Rapira, gone to Mannering. Mannering up the middle, stands and finds Rapira towards the 10-metre line. And Sam Rapira will play the ball. He plays it back for Lewis Brown, who goes to the middle, and he puts on a second-man play, and he gets the ball away to Maloney. He puts a kick, and here's this man, Zillman again! And he gets it back into the field of play.
Oh.
Well, he's saying that he's on the line.
Yeah, he's called that this has been forced on the line, which is a big call, because now it goes to a line dropout.
I thought there was a chance to run it there, Gus, instead of the kick. I thought they'd actually got a couple of numbers there.
Well, I think he wanted to, Maloney, but then when he looked up, he wasn't quite sure, so he went safety first. And now the referee's right there. That ball came down on the line, so that's deemed to be in goal. As you say, they had 4-on-2 out there, but Maloney wasn't comfortable in the pass. Still, they get possession back. There's 11 minutes left on the clock. 12 is a funny lead. It can soon be 6.
And the line dropout is not all that big. And Locke will play the ball. 2 changes left for both coaches, John Cartwright and Ivan Cleary. This is Packer getting it to the 20-metre line. 33 opportunities the Gold Coast, 28 opportunities the Warriors. They've both completed around about the same percentage as Maloney tries to burrow under LaFranchi and Bird. And Bird comes up with a hand on the ball. Might have been lucky to get away with that. Brown is with the ball now. And he'll play it 5 metres away from the line. Friend and Prince making the tackle. Out it comes right side for Seymour to go back. And he found Hohaya, who's gone away over the head of Mannering. It came off the boot of Brent Tate. And it came down to Steve Michael.
Well, it was a poor pass, and Simon Mannering decided to let it go, and that caught Brent Tate by surprise.
Now for Kevin Gordon.
Inside the final 10 now. Home side lead by 12.
Bailey has put it down, and that is a knock-on.
Okay, well, that brings them back into it. They've just got to get the try to get within 6. That's what they want. If they can get on the springboard, then at least they're in it until the death. They've got to come up with the next one shortly. They've stopped the clock. Now we're going to go through this stupidity of no one lifting their head out of the scrum. Otherwise, the clock starts again.
That's only working the scrum, and Brent Tate out at first receiver. Didn't get a good ball, and it's gone out to Ohio. And he'll play the ball 29 away. 29 away in the middle of the ground. Greg Bird was the tackler. This is Sam Rapira lining up LaFranchi, running straight at him. Bailey goes in to help LaFranchi, the 2 front rowers. Jeremiah across to Michael Luck, inside ball, finding Packer, 10 metres out, and still with a chance here, the Warriors. Ohio over to Brown. It was that combination that worked before. He's able to flick the ball out to Moon. He has to go back and find Rapira, finds Jeremiah. Jeremiah coming across the ground, and then eventually is put down and made to play the ball by Mark Minicello. Maloney for pass to find Packer eventually. He puts it out the back. They know it's marked urgent now. And here is Tate. Tate running around, running at Gordon, tries to shrug Gordon away. Michaels hangs on, shows him the sideline. 5 gone now for the Warriors.
Big play this.
It is a big play, and they're fanned out. Oh, Maloney went off before acceptances. Got a flick pass away. It went to Seymour. He put a little kick on it. He said play on. And Gordon it is that tries to come away from the 20-metre zone.
Well, it was a big play, and it ended up being a big defensive play because the Gold Coast really came off their line there, put the pressure on, forced the juggle, and when they tried to play hot potato, came up with the salvage. It's good stuff from the Gold Coast.
Brown on Bird now.
And I doubt there are more teams in the competition, or any team in the competition, that have kicked more field goals than the Titans. 3 from Scotty Prince, 2 from Matty Rogers, 1 from Greg Bird.
This is LaFranchi now.
Yeah, West Tigers have got 7, but those 2 teams clearly lead the league in 1-pointers.
7.5 minutes to go as Prince puts a kick down towards Locke. And Kevin Locke on the kick return, he's able to get it about 16 metres out from his own line. Varve running it at LaFranchi. Bird, he attacks the legs and plays the ball back to Joel Moon, shows it to Rapira. And Moon, who scored a try here earlier in the game. Michael Luck apparently has been ordered to the back of the field to get some blood bin treatment.
No, that's just a flesh wound, that one.
Tackle 3!
That's only about 6 inches long. That won't concern him.
Here's Packer running it again at Bird and LaFranchi. Bird's got a big elbow under the chin. And now it's come away from Maloney, who turns it inside for Mannering. And Mannering is right on the halfway line. Myers was the main tackler. And Mannering's come up without the football. He appeals to the ref. He appeals to the ref, but Tony Archer's not listening.
Yep. Well, they'll make it hard for themselves now, 12 in arrears. But they need to learn from tonight, the Warriors. Started with a blaze, went into a little bit of a hibernation, came hard, but they have been their own worst enemy. Their last 3 or 4 sets of 6, they've stuffed it up at the back end and haven't been able to put any 5th tackle pressure on the opposition. The crowd tonight, 27,026, and I'm not sure.
That's about 200 under the best crowd they've ever attracted here, Gus.
Yeah.
It's only about 250, I think, under the best crowd ever attracted here.
But it's a great crowd for the Gold Coast.
It is a great crowd. 27,250 you can put down here as capacity. And they've nearly achieved it tonight. Bailey, he'll play this ball. 35 away from the Warriors line. Myers out to Rogers. Rogers for Bird. And Bird, up the middle he goes. Jeremiah hangs on. Mannering's involved with Rapira. And it'll be played for Nathan Friend, who goes over to the right side for Rogers, and then for Prince, who's able to get back on his feet and give the ball to Rogers, who loses the ball. Jeremiah's got the ball. He's away. Nathan Friend's after him. 9 on 9 at Nathan Friend runs him down.
33 tackles, Nathan Friend. He's been out there all night. He's been dummy half all night. He is the fittest man in history. I've never seen a bloke get through work like him.
Maloney plays it for Tate, and Tate goes to Hahaya. It's back now for Matalino. He's lost the ball. Picked up by Lafranchi. Gone over to Torpy. Torpy's got Prince with him. Doesn't use him. Takes the tackle. 25 away from his own line.
In history, Rabbits.
Yes, I heard you, mate. I heard you. You said it 6 times last Friday. And I'm surprised you took so long to get to it tonight. But here is Atkins turning a ball inside for Bird. Bird up to the halfway line. Comment sideline, Brad. We've got an injury here.
Just talking about Nathan Friend and how fit he is. We've got some information from the GPS system.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, he ran 13.8 Ks in a game.
Yeah.
They judged their contacts by G-force. He had 96 instances above 9 G-forces, which is amazing. And it says he's fit.
Yeah, we played a different game. I didn't understand any of that. I'm sorry, Brad.
I've got no idea what you're talking about.
No one does.
Johns is right. You are a spaceman. Now, Minicello spins through, finds Rogers. Rogers puts it back there for Bailey to put a boot on it, but Locker's got it for the Warriors. Oh dear, Fred. You're taking to this. You're taking to this. This keeper. You should have been around with Jack Little and Michael Cleary doing World Championship Wrestling. That's what you should have been doing. Varve.
What a good show that was.
It was a good show. Cleary worked as a commentator with us for a tour down south, south of New Zealand, that is. Michael, he was with Jack Little, I think it was, on the World Championship Wrestling.
That was wrestling.
That was wrestling. Killer Kowalski was my favourite. That's Rapira. 28-16.
Dominic Danucci.
Oh, he was a singer, you idiot.
40-20.
Here's Maloney putting the kick down the ground. And oh, was he standing on the line?
Yes, he was.
Here's Gordon.
Well, they need to pack the scrum extremely quickly here. Do the Warriors get time out?
Rabbits has made himself laugh.
Hang on.
Rabbits has made himself laugh here. What's happened, Peter?
He was in the field of play when he touched that. Yeah, you're right, John. You're right.
I don't want to see him get angry.
He wasn't touching the line there when he pushed it back. So let's see if with under 3 minutes to go it makes a difference. That was the hammer he landed there, wasn't it, Sonny Cartwright?
28-16. The Titans are going on into the month of September. They could even be one of the top 2 qualifiers. Vardave. 2 meters out from the line. Over to Seymour, and Seymour decides to press the button, and again it's gone to ground. So the top 2 ranked qualifiers that go through week 1, they go straight to week 3, and they get a regional final. So supposing the Titans go through as one of the top 2 ranked winners this weekend, the Titans would go to Suncorp. That's their regional base. If they're not one of the top 2, and that's very likely, they will be here again next Friday night. 3 in a row at Skill Park.
Well, that all depends on what happens Saturday and Sunday.
Absolutely right.
Big night tomorrow night. Massive night tomorrow night. I can't wait. Tigers and the Roosters, Panthers and the Raiders.
28-16. And that's looking like it's going to be the final count. After they led 6-0, the Warriors put on the first try at the 7th minute of this game. And there's a little bit of a disturbance in back play involving Ta'ai and Myers. Tony Archer calling timeout.
And they're all careful not to throw a punch either. They know that, well, both these teams know that they've got other games to play throughout this final series. Titans definitely, the Warriors will be hoping results go their way so they get another chance next week. They'll learn from this evening. But pretty solid by the Titans. I thought they were a little bit flat early. They ground their way back into it. Played some brilliant footy at the back end of that first half, and they've protected their points well.
He settled down pretty quickly, John Cartwright, after a dusty ruling win against him. You say the teams ranked below the Warriors are the Roosters and Manly and Canberra, so the Warriors need 2 of them beaten. And here is Seymour asking Jeremiah to take it ahead, but Brad Myers snuffed him out. Just a matter of 15 seconds of the opening night remaining, and the Titans, they've made top 4 2 years in a row. And they're going to be around into the second and possibly the third week of the finals as a result of this victory tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. The Gold Coast Jetstar Titans have beaten the Warriors 28-16. Zillman got 2, made, I think, another one possible. Torpy, Rogers and Gordon got tries in front of a crowd of 27,000, about 250 short of the ground capacity. For the Warriors, Jeremiah, the first try scorer, Moon and Vatave. They provided the 4 pointers.